The Silver Screen Cynics.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is Jared.
And I'm Michael.
And I'm Ian.
Hey, welcome back to the show. And
Hello.
Today is going to be a very fun episode. We are doing what we're calling the horror makeover for movies that are not horror.
Ooh. That's right. We are taking spooky elements and making them hijack a film and running basically in a parallel universe or a parallel movie. Something happens and all of a sudden the plot turns and we have a completely new movie or it completely changes everything. And these are movies we would like to see, and we're just going to get creative here.
Someone peeing?
Yeah.
Are you peeing, Ian?
Like, oh, sorry. I poured out coffee in the sink. Sorry, it was old coffee.
I think the show just turned into a horror show.
Oh, man. Sorry about that.
P. and McFarlane.
That's right. Oh, that's not the first time I've heard that.
Oh yeah, so this will be exciting because it was hard to really think of, do I want to go kind of wacky and bizarre or funny or just straight horror with some of these movies. And picking the movie was the hard part for me, because do I pick a children's film and try and work to turn that around on its head, or pick like a really acclaimed movie and kind of twist that around? I don't know. I was struggling with how I could turn something into horror, but in the end, I think we're gonna have some good choices here.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yeah, I can start us off. So my original idea is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
What?
Oh wait, that's
so awesome. Wait, what?
So I'm gonna go with Jumanji, but this time instead of animals appearing during when they play the game, it's gonna be ghosts and goblins.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh. Kind of like a reverse Ghostbusters.
Yes, exactly.
Releasing them out.
So instead of saving everyone, they're unleashing the ghost krakens essentially. So, nice. And it just kind of like in the original, they just get worse and worse, and they have no idea what to do. And I would love to see Robin Williams as a ghost currently be the actor in that movie. Ooh. To try to save the day.
So Robin Williams would be a ghost in the movie?
Yeah, they would have to CGI him and be like, yeah, I'm dead and I'm a ghost now, what?
That'd be awesome. And they splice all this different like outtakes from all the movies in his career to try and form his audio.
Yeah, or get like some really good voice actor. I know like Family Guy has done an impression of him before. So some voice actor to try to act like it's him, and just these ghosts are just coming out of everywhere, and it's just absolute mayhem. And it would not be, I'm thinking not a kid-friendly version where, oh, look, there's a rhinoceros that's crushing a car or whatever. This would be terrifying, and I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Would you rename the film?
Probably
give it a subtitle.
Jumanji, the Ouija board years or something.
Jumanji.
Oh yeah,
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, I don't think people would flock to the theaters to see a movie called Juigi.
Juigi.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it would be great too, like the suspense, because even in Jumanji, there's like an amount, there's a certain amount of suspense to like, oh no, what's gonna happen next when they land on the next thing or whatever. And it'd be cool if it was like kind of violent too. So like maybe like the first few moves, the kids like their parents get killed by these things instead of being out of town, they just get killed, and they're like, oh, we got a place to live. Freaky.
Yeah, it's like a Saw element to it for sure.
Creepy. Well done. All right, my first movie. I love my title. It's called Murd and Murderer.
Murd and Murderer.
It's the take on Dumb and Dumber. Or it could just be Murd and Murder.
Murd and Murder.
Anyways, so the idea, you still have the same guys. You have Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey playing two simpletons driving around in their windowless shaggin' wagon. And they are, since they have the minds of children, they're traveling across country. I haven't figured out why they're doing it. Who cares? They're traveling across country, and they want more friends to play with because, they're like children themselves. Like, oh, yeah. So they pick up kids, and, they lure them in with this awesome dog van. And so the kids are like, oh, this is awesome. They come and play, and then they're not really malicious, but they pretty much kidnap the kids. They're like, oh, let's keep going. They don't care about the parents or even bringing the kids back. So they end up like hauling a van load of kids across country, and the kids are like starving and scared, and so the kids I imagine them being more like Lenny from Of Mice and Men, where he's like he gets violent, and it's kind of scary because he doesn't know he's being violent. And so these kids are like scared for their lives. So it's pretty much a survival story for these kids to escape the horrors of Murd and Murderer.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's
still
a dog car.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's still going to be the shaggin' wagon, the dog car.
Nice.
So that's my idea. I didn't dig into it much more than that. But I figured that'd be freaky because when it comes to kids, that just terrifies me because they're the most vulnerable, and just keep a lot of the same lines and stuff. And even Jim Carrey driving the kids while not watching where he's going, and the kids really screaming, "Ah, we're gonna die!" And then, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? And that's like a blood curdling scream to the kids, and I think they're gonna die.
Yeah.
And eventually they'll pick up some Mexicans along the way to offer some entertainment for the kids.
See.
Yeah.
See. Oh man. What a sick and twisted movie. Sadistic indeed.
Yeah. All right. Michael's turn. Murd and Murder.
Murd. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right, my turn. So for this film, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's called "What About Bob's Chainsaw?" starring Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. Yes.
Already love it.
Yeah, the great thing about my pick here is that you don't have to do a lot to the movie.
No, you don't.
You just turning it into a horror movie. It's already, like, when you think about it, a pretty creepy movie. When you write the movie out, like the plot on paper, and read it, and you're like, oh gosh, this guy's gonna murder a psychiatrist. It's totally like, it's only because of Bill Murray that it's like, oh, it's Bill Murray. I mean, what's not to love? But anyway, this movie can easily turn into a slasher movie, just by changing some of the stuff on the editing side. Like, you could definitely add in a couple of just like evil smiles and stares from Bill Murray, and
just change the music.
Change the music. That's all it takes is changing the music. And then, of course, you would have to add a chainsaw, which probably would require maybe two scenes, like the foreshadowing, like you see a chainsaw, and then the end when ultimately Bill Murray kills or maybe it's like a Saw sort of situation where like the protagonist does the horrific act, and maybe he kills the killer, and then he goes to prison.
Yeah.
So with this movie, it's pretty much the same. Like Bob is a crazy dude who gets very obsessed and attached with his psychiatrist and his family, and he's psychotic, and he has psychotic episodes, and the and then the psychiatrist, who's not a really likable guy. He's kind of a jerk and kind of, all about his self and his book, and nobody believes him because Bob is so nice and he is such a jerk. Everybody's like, he's trying to tell everybody like Bob is crazy, he's gonna kill us all, and everybody's like, Bob's a nice guy. So it's really not that much different than the actual movie.
Yeah.
Just a couple of
Totally.
just changing the music up, and then like completely just adding in some scenes, and then like obviously they have to film like a new final scene. The movie's obviously going to end differently.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Leo Marvin can still end up in a mental institution. In fact, that's really scary that like no matter what, unless he was the one that got murdered. I haven't thought that through. Maybe he's the one that gets murdered.
I think it's better with him killing Bob, and then in the end you see him in prison
Crazy.
just going crazy. Like he's now the psycho.
He's now the crazy. Yeah. Like he thinks he's like, Bob is crazy and Bob wants to kill Leo, but Leo gets the jump on him and he goes crazy. I think that's really messed up. So
Yeah.
I definitely think this would just be so messed up,
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I'm already picturing like a really great dark comedy scene where Bob just killed someone, but he got blood on him, and since he's so like anti-germ and germophobic, he's just like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah. This is kind of reminding me of actually that movie. Mark Wahlberg was in this movie called Fear, and I think, Mike, I saw it at your house actually, where Mark Wahlberg, it's like he's a teenager, and like everyone thinks he's great, but like he always looks at. So he's dating this girl, and he looks at the dad like he wants to kill him at all times, and then finally at the end of the movie, then it's like very obvious that he's a bad dude. So
There's like the movie ends in like a siege, like him and his bros are sieging his girlfriend and her family's house. Pretty cool. That movie was definitely a guilty pleasure back in the day.
for sure.
Yes. And of course, Ian saw it at my house because all my friends went to my house to see all the rated R movies.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think I saw South Park at your house the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
talked
think
about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so that's my movie. What about Bob's Chainsaw?
That's so good.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I bet you anything, someone out there, someone has to have at least like done one of those horror trailer edits for that movie or something.
Yeah.
Because that movie's just perfect for it. Just like Mrs. Doubtfire, that one was really good. The horror trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that was amazing.
It really does look like a horror movie.
Yeah. Somebody made it. It exists, guys.
It does. What about Bob?
What about Bob horror recut? I haven't watched it yet.
Should we all watch it?
I think we should.
Or
There's two. There's two of them. I just typed in "What about Bob horror trailer" and
wow, that's pretty funny.
yeah. Oh man.
Oh man, and the music they used for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. This just proves my point more. It works so well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gimme, I need.
Yeah. The part where like, who's calling you, Dr. Leo? I was like, ooh, I got chills. Oh man. Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's pretty awesome. Anyway, what about Bob? What a great movie.
All right,
Cool.
Ian's turn.
Alrighty, so my next one, I am picking October Sky. which
Ooh.
I don't know how many people saw that, but it was this Jake Gyllenhaal movie where he's a teenager and he tries to get out of, being in this really rural town by getting a scholarship by making rockets and stuff because the space program is happening. But in the horror movie version, it is going to be a little bit more like the Tom Cruise version of War of the Worlds. So the reason I say that is because we all know from Star Trek that aliens only come because we invented warp drive. Nope. In this one, they're going to come because Sputnik happened. They're going to be like, oh, crap, they know how to do space stuff now. So the second that happens, then the aliens just start coming in full force. And all the practice that they've had with, building rockets, they're going to start building weapons out of them. And it's going to be like War of the Worlds meets Red Dawn. So they're going to be this ragtag band of high schoolers trying to kill all these aliens. So it's more of a horror / action movie. And it takes place in the 50s. And it just combines all these elements. And I think that could be really cool. Them being up in the mountains and all these aliens don't know the terrain, even though they have all these sweet weapons. They're no match for the moonshine-powered rockets that they build as high school students.
Nice.
Especially because they have no way to target, and it's just like a crapshoot.
Nice. I never saw October Sky.
I
Oh,
saw
really?
it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a feel-good Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that was his first, wasn't it?
It was his breakout role.
Yeah. I mean, he was so good at I think his next movie after that was probably Donnie Darko. So it was really early in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, he did some child acting before that. Like he was Tom Hanks' son, and no, he's Billy Crystal's son in City Slickers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like although there were alien movies in the 50s, they're all kind of cheeseball. But if you take a modern look at alien horror and add that onto the 50s era, that's a really cool mixture.
Do you have a name for it? I got a name if you don't.
I don't. What is your name for it?
Red October Sky.
Nice.
And it'd be like, is it the Russians?
Yeah.
You better hope it's the Russian. It's actually Red Planet.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, man. I want to see a poster from that one.
Yeah, I have to work it out now. So, yeah. That's awesome.
Cool.
Good pick. My next choice, I went with the Lego Movie. And where I went with this one is it's kind of a similar storyline where you've got your main character who's kind of just like happy-go-lucky, and he's trying to get out from underneath Lord Business's thumb. And so the whole movie, it's just plays out similarly, and trying to overcome Lord Business. And about 3/4 in, out of nowhere, like buildings start getting destroyed in the city. You're like, whoa, what the crap is going on? Like, they're just getting smashed and destroyed and blown up. And then it cuts to the real world, and you're like, oh, here we go. Instead of Will Ferrell being the kid's dad, it's his captor. Similar themes with my show. And the kid is allowed, he's in like a really dank basement, and he's given just like a handful of toys to play with, and he has just a few Legos, and so he makes like real crude buildings and everything. And he's up past his bedtime, so Will Ferrell comes down and destroys his imaginative city, and then it just turns from there. And anyways, he leaves, so the kid goes back and tries to recreate his world. I haven't thought about too much what's going to happen, but pretty much that it's gonna like turn like really kind of happy. Like the kid's like really trying to turn his world even happier, and I think that's like the more depressing, because similar to like Pan's Labyrinth, how this girl creates such a beautiful world amongst like the worst conditions, and so the kid's gonna make just like a dream world out of the few Legos that he has, and then it's gonna like end on like a really happy note, but it's so bittersweet.
Yeah, the actual Lego characters could be like having like some like existential crisis with like their good god versus their bad god and stuff, and like how to make of it. Oh yeah, that's psychological.
Yeah, heavy.
Yeah, I'm gonna put psychological on here.
Yeah,
little.
I'm making notes of what type too.
Okay.
Would you have a name for it? A different name?
I couldn't think of. I usually like to do play on words, but I couldn't do anything because it's just the Lego Movie. It was a tough one to play with. The Leg Movie. The O leg.
Yeah.
Lego my leg.
Yeah, Lego.
Lego my Lego.
Yep. Lego my life.
Yeah. Lego. Yeah, Lego my life. I like that. Lego my life. It's sad. It's very like. Ooh.
And I vote that instead of Will Ferrell being the captor, I vote Nicolas Cage because of his crazy faces.
I think any movie he's in is a horror movie. I know I'm mortified every time I watch a movie.
Yeah, and that would be creepy.
Yeah,
being like this, just a psycho kind of on purpose instead of naturally happening. Like
like even when he was in that the remake of Left Behind, like even if people were disappearing everywhere, I would be like, look, I know people disappeared, but did you notice that Nicolas Cage is the pilot? Like, this is terrifying, you guys.
Yeah, like, forget people are disappearing.
I'm gonna one up your Nick there, and I'm gonna go to Nick Nolte.
Oh wow.
Way terrifying.
Like mugshot Nick Nolte.
Yeah. Or is it Hulk Nick Nolte? Because they're both terrifying. I think mugshot.
True.
Yeah, mugshot Nick Nolte, which is pretty much current Nick Nolte. That's just
yeah. Except now it's like overweight and old Nick Nolte.
Yeah, you can't understand anything he says.
I'm Nick Nolte. It puts the lotion on and scares against the Legos crushed again.
Perfect. Woo! Oh man! All right.
So that's mine.
Awesome.
Bring it home, Michael.
All right, my last movie is a good one. I'm really excited about it, and I'm also equally terrified about it. And I'm bending the rules slightly in the sense that my movie is not necessarily. It could do two different ways. It can we could take the movie and go down the horror road and completely diverts from the rest of the movie, which would be completely different, or we can make a sequel based on this scene. So I am doing Pee-wee's Big Adventure. In the horror part, would be focusing on
Don't say it.
Large Marge.
No! Large Marge.
Yeah, right now, if you haven't seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure, you need to stop what you're doing, pause the audio, and go watch the Large Marge scene on YouTube. It is terrifying. And this was a kids movie. So Pee-wee's Big Adventure was a very fun, crazy movie, but it definitely had this sort of like adult kind of eccentric feel going to it. The music, first of all, it was directed by Tim Burton, his first full-length movie. And then the music, which to me is probably still Danny Elfman's best work, is awesome. And it's very eccentric, like bum 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 bum. It's like do 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 do. It's very
It's like circusy.
yes, very circusy. And the movie is definitely circusy altogether. And of course, in the scene, you know, like uh, Pee Wee is picked up. He's hitchhiking and gets picked up by this trucker lady, and she still tells this ghost story. And then she turns around to give him a scare, and her face, her eyes pop out of her head, her hair sticks up, her mouth gets bigger. She turns into a monster in front of your own eyes. And the greatest part about it was that it was done in claymation, and it had the scariest like cartoon like laugh ever. And he screams, and you know, like she drops off at a truck store, and we learn that she definitely scarier than the actual scare, which is actually pretty scary, was the fact that we learn that she was a ghost. Boom! Oh my gosh. I got chills, and I still get freaked out just thinking about that.
Oh yeah.
So, what I want to do is I want to take that storyline and continue it and have Large Marge try to. She is basically trying to come after Pee Wee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or she is haunting. She is haunting Pee Wee.
That sounds horrible.
Oh man.
I mean,
she was so scary though.
You look at that. Was it like maybe 2 seconds of scare time? And that was like the scariest thing I had seen for like 30 years of my life. Just those 2 seconds. And you're wanting to make a whole movie out of it?
Yeah, totally. And hey, let's have a cameo by the clowns too while we're at it.
Oh my gosh.
I think this will be like more in the sequel, you know, another Pee Wee movie in a way. I'm gonna call it. Gosh, what am I gonna call it? I'm gonna call it Pee Wee and the Haunting of Large Marge. And the tagline is, "It was 10 years ago on a night just like tonight." Oh my gosh, so scary. And I mean, it could be just like, you know, I don't know who's seen. Who out there has seen the new Pee Wee movie, which is pretty good, by the way. But it could just be like, it can start off, he's just, you know, at home, at work, doing his thing, and he just, you know, starts to see a big semi truck kind of following around, kind of some elements of Duel.
Oh man.
And then like, you know, he goes up and she's in that, and she would just have to like appear as her scary old woman stuff for a long time, and then we would get some of those scares in with the face and the claymation. But we got to keep to the fact that it has to be stop animation claymation. That is a must. No CGI.
Yeah,
no,
that would take away from the scariness.
Yeah.
Freaky. I'm just imagining like him like in the, you know, he's in the bathroom taping up his face and everything, and he closes the mirror and then just like she just like shows up randomly and terrifies him, and he just gets so paranoid. Oh man, it's like all my childhood nightmares coming true in this movie.
Yeah. This lady is also just to keep with the scary, the lady who played Large Marge has been dead for like 25 years.
50 years. She wasn't even alive for the making of Pee Wee.
That's true. Oh, man. Large Marge sent you. Pretty sure the Blair Witch was actually Large Marge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's pretty exciting. I definitely want this project to happen. Although
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's like a thrill. It's like thrill seeking. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I, I want to not be able to sleep for the longest time and be afraid of old lady truckers. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, it's kind of like Blair Witch. I didn't go camping for probably about 6 years after that came out because it just traumatized me.
Yeah.
So now,
Yeah.
if I see this movie, I'm not gonna want to go around. I'm not gonna pass any semi trucks in the fast lane anymore.
Especially at night. My
Oh,
goodness.
yeah.
Not gonna hitchhike. You
Nope.
know.
Since I
Not
like to hitchhike a lot, so that there goes those plans.
Ah.
Yes. Oh man. I think it would be great. And it would also be part origin story too. I think that would be important. The movie starts out not with Pee-wee, but with the actual accident.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh.
So we get to see how her face looked like that.
Yeah, maybe. That would be cool.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, yeah, she would have to maybe get so scared that her face almost made that. And then by being a ghost, it's even more exaggerated. Yeah. Woo, I'm getting chills. I'm gonna have trouble getting to bed tonight. Thinking about
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Also, in preparation for this episode, I already made a movie poster for us, so we'll post that. It
Nice.
is
Yeah.
fine.
It's a really
And
cool poster.
yeah, so I think it will be fun. So yeah, that's my movie. I hope it gets made, which probably never will be, but I think it would be fun. Maybe I'll send the poster to Paul Rubens. He'll make it happen.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
But that would be pretty fun to try to cast a new Large Marge who looked just like her. Oh.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah. Oh man. That'd be fun.
Wow.
So
we all came up with some really cool ideas.
I know. This was a really good
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yes.
It
Well
was
done.
fun.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. This was a good one. I'm excited to edit this
Yeah.
one now.
Yeah.
If you haven't already started, you can follow us on Instagram, and you'll get to see Mike's poster, and we'll put it on Facebook as well. So it's just Silver Screen Cynics. And also, good news, we're gonna be we're on Stitcher right now, and we're gonna be on iHeartRadio and Google Play Music and maybe some others. So however you want to listen to us, you can. And
Yeah.
of course, iTunes.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah, so follow us on Twitter as well. I never keep up with that, so enjoy the barren Twitter account. And I think Instagram's gonna be more fun because I like doing the visual stuff better.
Yes, indeed.
Cool.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Nice.
Take care and have a good week.
All right, later, everybody.
See you.
Later.
Groovy. Groovy.